It's not difficult to understand why we're not created, made to work 9 to 5 or any routine like that, because there's not many jobs who would have a neutral or positive response if you were in your computer chair in the office and you just got up and said, I need to sit in an oak tree with a guitar for at least an hour and possibly sleep, and that's what's happening. Because if we all acted on the impulses of our soul, our spirit, that's freedom. Clocks and calendars. How many people get a job thinking, oh, I've only got to do it for 27 years and then I can retire? Or something along those lines. Or I'll only do it for 2 years so that I've got enough money saved up. Man. How many opportunities for fun, joyful experiences might that individual have to turn down if they carried on with the same mindset they've boxed themselves in to this thing called life for 2 years? To me, a house is more a burden. The responsibilities, time. The idea of time was created so that we individuals would agree to enslave ourselves to it. The God of this world, not the earth. You know what I'm talking about. Satan, the adversary. Saturn, Kronos, father of time. It's about worshipping time, isn't it? Accepting that it's the fixed concept and construct that we were told it is. Because when you sign up to that, depending on where you live, you consent to a certain type of reasoning. It's very difficult to live in that world when you are not of that understanding. Because that's what causes things like what happened last weekend when I was energetically very sensitive, because I was purging a lot of stuck energy from time, from my whole life in a caravan, and a policeman walked in because he was of a different understanding of time. My time was of no concern or value to him, because he has got numbers to prove it. 149 hours a week or something, or whatever. He was here because he presumed to take my time, and he did so because I was so busy holding back a familiar response for the sake of my own energy and peace levels. I just had to go with the experience, but that man was there on the authority of his Father Saturn, the eater of time. I actually said to one of the police officers, it must suck to have a job where the more human you are, the more risk you've got of being sacked. Basically said, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm just doing my job. Because he was, from his frame of reference, which is to ignore all human and search for criminals or suspicious possessions. It's so funny. I feel blessed actually because I've had many experiences with the police on a pantomime. But it is funny. It has to be funny because that's how we win. If it's funny, then it's not unjust. Or it is, but it doesn't matter because see the game for what it is and play the game, don't let the game play you. That's it. Just keep out the way. That incident with the police was an unintended consequence of something else that happened, which just shows the chaotic nature of reality, really. You can get your bubble. I mean, eventually you find the less you deal with other people, the less you have to concern yourself with stuff like that. But it was unnecessary anyway because it cleared up an issue that was pending a warrant. Would have just followed me around being stupid, and it would have caught up with me eventually because I'm not of this world, but I'm still in it, and I'm not trying to just go around hiding from stuff. But I had to go to court, and the judge told me, she said something about absurd machinations of the justice system. I'm like, wow. She basically apologised without acknowledging the fact that she weren't able to say those words. But it's all done. So that is out of my energy field now. Being arrested, sleeping in a cell, going to court and then being released and coming back was a spirit walk for me. It was a great meditation. To call aspects of my soul back in previous experiences where I had leaked any sort of emotional response, because that's what it is about. That's what it does. But the flip side is that in a police car, in a police cell, chained to a bed in a hospital, whatever, right, is actually the safest place you could be in the world. Nobody's going to disturb you, but it's just if you understand that it's kind of like a threat, a carrot and stick thing, depending on how you speak, or it's peaceful. But everywhere is peaceful. If you're not influenced by the energy of any other somewhere. In the Bible it talks about meditating on good things, things that are pure and righteous. And if you really tune in to that, the beauty of this planet, realm, world, earth, whatever you want to say, really, the intricacy, not just the good, of course the good, pure and holy is beautiful, but the contrast, the friction between the two. Yeah, the the demon and angel shoulder sitting experience, finding the center, and initiating a process where your heart becomes light as a feather, to be energetically influential in the real world as it is, grounded in whatever reality we are surrounded by, which is either the consequence of our individual will or some other individual or collective will. The difficulty I've found is that going inward, being here with me, is very comfortable. And where I used to love sharing with others, experiences have made the human part of me feel cautious. But we can zoom out of the human experience to see that we are the ones who says what it is. We need to finally understand that and start speaking positive incantations and intentions over our own life and aligning our intent, our will. And that's it. Of course, it's safe to come together with other humans. What? See, I was shaking my head. What's that about? I equalised it. It is. I know. All that doubt and talk about not good enough. It's not our words, but we took them on in our martyrdom. We allowed people to allow us to be whoever they needed us to be. There was nothing to measure up to. We just are. Nothing needs to be justified. Every single happening is ordained by divine will. There's no such thing as feeling stagnant in life. There is just gaps that encourage us to go deeper within. Boredom is not real. Boredom is every anxiety we've ever swallowed bubbling up to the surface of our energy field, wanting to be addressed. Restlessness comes from wanting the world to be fixed by this evening. There's a song by Trevor Hall called You Can't Rush Your Healing. I'm going to go and listen to that song now and breathe in and out consciously. Peace.